podcast.
Now recording. What's up, Fight Bros podcast listeners? Coming at you today with Fight Bros MMA show number 41. Coming at you today with my buddy Patrick Sanchez. Thanks for coming on today, Patrick.
Thank you for having me. I came back when I said I would for the McGregor card.
Yep. That's what we wanted, man. That we gotta get your input on these big fights. We're coming at you today with virtual backgrounds. So we're giving this a try. But so let's jump right into it. We got some fresh hot news, fight news here. Just announced by President Dana White, Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler is going to be the co-main event to Brian Ortega and Alexander Volkanovski in September.
Okay, so the Volkanovski and Ortega fight's finally been announced?
Yep.
Okay.
Pretty much with that, with what Dana said today, it's pretty much announced. So that's looking.
Yeah, I'm literally just now finding out about this. I just got off work and came home, and this is news to me.
Yeah, it's awesome because, we were actually going to get into today, Masvidal eyeing a fight and Nick Diaz was a potential opponent. But now, we have Nick Diaz versus Robbie Lawler. Well, this was a fight that was an option from the beginning. I'm so stoked about this because, they fought before and Nick kind of got the TKO.
It was a weird one, too.
TKO. Not, I wouldn't say kind of. But
yeah, he knocked him out, but it was just a weird one.
It was weird because Robbie was stumbling and then he argued after it. I did think that Nick Diaz wouldn't take Robbie because, Robbie hasn't kind of been in the best place in terms of winning lately.
Yeah.
And it seems like Nate and Nick, just kind of their mentality, they want to get the guys who are the best. They want to get these killers.
Well, Robbie Lawler is still a killer regardless. Yeah. He's late in his career, but both of them, they're both big names, and putting them on that card for Volkanovski and Ortega is definitely going to help sell that card too.
Oh, yeah.
His name in general is just going to help sell the card.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, we've been seeing all these Instagram photos of Nick training, look all ripped up. He's
looking better than Nate.
Yeah, doing these professional triathlons and stuff. So, I mean, we've been waiting and finally got it here. So I'm so stoked. How do you see that fight playing out going early?
That's tough. I don't know. That's tough because we haven't seen Nick Diaz in years. So we have no idea what he's actually going to come out and do. Hell, he could come out there and lay down in the octagon like he did against Anderson Silva.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to see the antics. Those are just
of course,
brothers. That's kind of what they do to get people out of their comfort zone and put them in positions where they can best do their game plan, which is not being broken, not getting tired.
Yeah.
I agree with what you said. Robbie Lawler, he's still that killer. I still love every time when Robbie Lawler gets announced for a fight. I love it. I thought he was going to be that guy to kind of beat Colby Covington when Colby fought. Maybe I guess it was 2 years ago or so. But that was a tough one to watch Robbie in because everybody just wanted him to beat Colby so bad, and then
everybody wants everybody to beat Colby.
Yeah. But that was a tough one to watch because he just didn't throw, he didn't attack. We're so used to him. We wanted to see him have a fight like he did with Roy McDonald. So
yeah, still one of the greatest fights of all time.
It is.
Part of me, I can't say who's going to win because I literally have no idea how Nick is going to come out because we haven't seen him in years, and we don't know which Robbie's going to show up because he could be hesitant or he could just not have a chin. Like we don't know. Nick could submit him, honestly, but I'd like for Nick Diaz to win. I want Nick Diaz to come back and go on a roll, like just win. Maybe have a super fight with Masvidal or who did you say?
Israel.
Israel? No, I didn't think that at all. maybe have a super fight with like Masvidal or possibly Khamzat Chimaev.
Yeah,
But I'd like for Nick Diaz to win that fight.
yeah, I agree.
And
I think it's gonna be. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be like the first one, but I think
yeah,
Nick's he's gonna have that training that fight style like Nate. It's gonna be just the same. I mean, they're not gonna be broken. You're not gonna be able to stop them. They're gonna keep coming at you. They're not gonna get tired. I see Nick Diaz winning it. Like I said, I think this sets up really big fights for him because he's kind of. It seems like he should be in the prime of his career right now.
mm-hmm.
So this could set up that Masvidal down the line. Maybe have another welterweight run at the title. So we'll look forward to that. That's some exciting news today. That's fresh. That's not something that got announced a week ago or so. That's fresh today.
Yeah, like fresh like an hour ago or less because I did not see anything on my ride home.
Oh yeah. So some other big news, probably over the past week or so. Francis Ngannou, what has he been our champion for 3 or 4 months?
Yeah.
And they're already making an interim title shot. We're going to see Cyril Gane versus Derek Lewis for the interim heavyweight title after Ngannou has only had it for 3 or 4 months.
Yeah. I think that Gane was probably going to be next, or Derek. Well, both of them really. I think this happened for one of two reasons. One, Dana White didn't like the fact that Ngannou was talking about fighter pay, which Dana White doesn't like when anybody talks about fighter pay. He just wants them to go and do their job and not fight about money. However, or the other way would be if Dana White wants to have them two fight for an interim belt and have John Jones fight for the heavyweight still. Maybe he's trying to push John Jones into the heavyweight fight and then the winner versus winner. But I think it's just dumb, especially because Dana White does not like having interim champions. I don't know why he did this.
Yeah, that's interesting that you brought up the John Jones thing. I didn't think of it like that. I've just been so irritated that they're already doing an interim. But, I mean, that would make me feel better if we did Ngannou, John Jones, then the winner fought the winner.
Yeah, but you could also just have Derek Lewis versus Cyril Gane in the first place on a co-main with John Jones and Ngannou on a main event. So you could literally do that on the same card, and it's literally the exact same thing.
See, that's something I don't understand about UFC sometimes is like, me and you both used to like WWE. Why don't they just have number one contender fights? I don't understand.
I mean, they do in theory, but
they do in theory.
A lot of times it doesn't happen like that because obviously WWE is scripted.
Yeah.
UFC, real injuries can happen in WWE, but real injuries can happen in UFC and just normal everyday life because they're training 24/7.
Yeah.
So if somebody gets hurt, then it kind of pushes back, or somebody gets COVID, like Gilbert Burns, they have to find a replacement, and it's just a lot of stuff, I guess, goes into it. But I don't like the fact that they brought an interim.
Yeah, I don't either. I agree both of these guys deserved a chance at the title, but I feel like they didn't deserve it without Ngannou being in the event.
Yeah.
So, like you said, Francis called out UFC for their pay. It has to be tough seeing guys like Floyd Mayweather, Logan Paul. These guys are getting paid for, a sparring match pretty much. And then the UFC fighters, they're going out there, with the chance of getting really injured. And Francis Ngannou, he's probably one of the best knockout artists ever in the UFC.
Yep.
He's getting paid, which we're talking about this in UFC terms, not us regular people terms, but he's getting paid $500,000 just to show. And then once you split that between like his nutritionists, his coaches, taxes, your headlining champion is not really making as much as those famous level guys.
Well, it also everybody says that people shouldn't make that much money, which when you think about it, the name is what brings the revenue. So McGregor is the biggest name. Obviously, he's going to bring the biggest pay-per-view buys.
Yeah.
So the more pay-per-view buys you get, the more money you should make. I think that they should more or less do it on pay-per-view buys, but at the same time, if you do that, then a lot of the fighters won't want to fight on the same card.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't split all the pay-per-view buys between 3 big names because then everybody's going to say, well, they bought it to watch me, and nobody ever knows who they're going to buy the pay-per-view to watch. A lot of people sold their tickets because Nate Diaz and Leon Edwards didn't fight on the card for Usman and Masvidal.
Yeah, that was kind of a letdown. I agree.
But I still think that card is the best card of the year, and it's probably the best card I've ever seen.
Yeah.
That knockout is my favorite knockout ever.
Because we never would have expected Masvidal to get done like that.
No.
So.
Folded up like a lawn chair.
I guess we could kind of look at it like, I guess they did sign a contract and, technically you have to fight out your contracts. But I think they make exceptions for, like, McGregor. They make exceptions for Khabib.
Both of them have a very, very, very large fan base.
I think Francis is there, though.
I only think Francis is in the top 10 of most famous fighters. He did grow a lot because of his story. When his story got out there, everybody started really paying attention to him before he won the belt. Because
he's going to go to boxing at some point.
Tyson Fury and Ngannou are going to happen. I think it's going to happen.
Okay, because
Tyson Fury said it's going to happen, and he doesn't just BS.
Yeah, and I think you have to look at Francis like this. Like, UFC's never had an event in Africa. I believe that he's going to be that guy to headline, and he's going to get a lot of global.
Is he? Is he the main event on that card?
I mean, Israel could be.
Is he the main event on that card?
But I mean, a 3 title fight. Let's just not go about the main event. 3 title fights. I would love this. This is my dream. UFC Africa, Usman, Francis, and Izzy have that 3 title fights on the same card in Africa. That would be amazing.
Yeah, it would. Imagine. I mean, this would never happen. But imagine if Robert Whittaker and Israel Adesanya, and Ngannou and John Jones, and Usman and Colby are the fights on that card.
That would be
you would not. That's a scenario where every fighter is like, well, they're buying it to pay for me.
Yeah.
Because every single one of them fighters could headline their own pay-per-view.
Yeah. Yeah. If we could be the matchmakers, man.
That's a dream. That's just a dream.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and get into this pay-per-view we got coming up this weekend, man. We got UFC 264. This is one we've been waiting for all summer. This card is pretty stacked from the prelims up. Heck, even some of the early prelims are good.
Yeah.
And, this is what people have been waiting for, that third fight between Dustin Poirier and Conor McGregor. Both of them are tied 1-1. But let's go ahead and start. Let's start from the bottom on this with the prelims. Did you want to start with that? So this card is so good that one of the women's fights we have is on the early prelims, and it is Jennifer Maia versus Jessica Ai.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that should tell you something right there when, those two are pretty big names in that women's flyweight division, and they're on
both of them. I'm pretty sure Jennifer Maia just fought for a belt, didn't she?
She did.
And then Jessica Ai was the number 1 contender, but then she lost to I can't remember who it was. It was last year. She lost to somebody else, and then she fought for the belt, and then she lost.
So Jennifer Maia's last fight, she fought Shevchenko.
Yeah, and Shevchenko obliterated her.
Yeah. I mean, she literally just fought to her title and now is on the early prelims. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's really insane. That fight should be on the main card.
Yeah, and Jessica Ai's beat some good contenders. So, that's crazy. So, who do you got in this fight?
I think Jennifer Maia. I think she takes her down and makes her tap. I just don't think – Jessica does not have the ground game. She's a striker, and it's always a classic striker versus grappler. And I think Jessica takes her down and uses her jiu-jitsu and makes her tap.
I agree. Yeah, I think she's really lethal on the ground. You know,
Just not as lethal
yeah,
as Shevchenko.
yeah, yeah, just not with Shevchenko. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Jennifer Maia as well. So let's bump it up to the prelims now. The guy nobody wants to fight, Ryan Hall, is opening up the prelims, or he's not. He's not opening up the prelims, but he's the second fight on the prelims. Ryan Hall versus Ilia Tupora. Ryan Hall is a guy that everybody's kind of been ducking.
Yeah.
It seems like his last fight was against Darren Elkins, but he really hasn't been too active, and it's not really his fault. It just seems like he can't get fights. I mean, I'm sure they're offering him like lower level fights, but he wants to fight these top guys, and
And nobody wants to fight down.
Yeah, I remember when he what did he do that? He got some type of what's it called, ankle submission or foot lock on BJ Penn, and that's how he got big. That's how his name kind of got out there.
Yeah.
So who do you got in this fight?
Well,
I don't really know too much about the other guy. I just know a little bit about
yeah.
Ryan Hall.
I'll probably take Ryan Hall. I want to say knockout, and I hope there's a lot of finishes on this card.
I do too.
I want to say knockout, but I don't know anything about the other guy either. I don't know what his strengths are or anything about the other guy, really. Is it the other guy's debut in the UFC?
No, he's 10-0 though, but it might be his debut. Let me see. No, it's not his debut. He's had 2 fights already, so he's kind of fairly new.
Let's see.
Not against big name guys though.
I'm gonna look at him.
Yeah, let's see his last.
Yeah, it's showing here. The other guy is a submission artist.
Okay. Yeah, I mean Ryan Hall definitely he's lethal on the ground. No top featherweights really want to fight him.
Yeah. Well, both of the records are pretty good. I don't know who's going to win that fight.
I'm going with Ryan Hall. I think he's going to continue this kind of tirade that he's on and keep it going.
I just can't give you an I really don't.
That's all right, man. So let's move up again. This is how good this card is. Nico Price versus Michelle Piera is not even your main event on the prelims.
Yeah, two showboat, the two like Anthony Pettis-like fighters.
Yeah, I mean Nico just he can take a lot of damage and he gets finished sometimes, but he can take a lot of damage and he embraces it. He loves.
Yeah, he's got some weird knockouts.
Yeah, he loves to be in barn burners. And Michelle Piera, I mean, he comes out there, he does backflips, cartwheels, Showtime kicks, Superman punches. I mean, if you're watching this because you want to be entertained and kind of see a little bit of
this is probably going to be the most entertaining fight of the night.
Yep.
Either that or, the opening main card, but I'm sure we'll get to that.
So you mentioned Nico Price with some of his kind of amazing knockouts.
Yeah.
Let's see, he got that up kick
on
James Vick. That's probably one of his most notable knockouts.
He also had hammer fists from the ground. Somebody was on him. Yeah, somebody was on him and he hammer fisted him, knocked him out. He had the up kick. He's got some weird. He's got, I think, the most knockouts from ground or bottom position on the in the UFC.
So this is very interesting because Nico Price just had that no contest with Cowboy. Michelle Piera just beat a good up and comer in Chaos Williams.
So Michelle Pereira did actually surprise me in that fight, but I also think Chaos is very overrated.
Yeah, I agree.
And before that, didn't Pereira do some like dumb stuff, and he lost a fight before that?
He got a no contest, so he technically lost to Diego Sanchez.
Yeah. I mean, he should have won that fight. He should honestly be on like a 3-fight win streak, but he just, I don't know. He's just one of those fighters that doesn't really care about winning, I guess. He's just there to show off. Yeah,
I agree. But I think he's kind of got some stuff fixed. I liked his game plan in that Chaos Williams fight.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's definitely,
he surprised me.
He's got the body. He's got the total package, with his skill set and everything to be good, to be a top contender.
Yeah, he does.
So this is kind of his fight. Nico's kind of right in that kind of mix of contenders.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't kind of jumped in there yet, but he's right there. So I'm going to go with Michel Pierre in this one. I think we are going to see a finish either way.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, I hear you. I agree with you, but I don't agree with you. I'm going with Nico Price in this one. I think Nico Price is just the better fighter. That Cowboy fight, they called it a draw, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
But then they called it no contest because one of them tested positive for marijuana or something.
Nico did, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think Nico Price is just the better fighter. I think Nico knocks him out second round.
Yeah, I respect that, man. So let's move up. We got one of the kind of legendary guys in here that a lot of us hardcore fans know of. The main event of the prelims: Carlos Condit versus Mac.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the next fight. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh,
I'm sitting here like, oh, you think he's a legend already?
But yeah, Carlos Condit, man, I think he came out of retirement 3 years ago or so.
Yeah.
He kind of had he came back and just, kind of had 2 or 3 losses in a row, but it seemed like he kind of got it together again. Yeah. That fight between him and Matt Brown was awesome.
Amazing fight.
And it was a fight night as well. So, it showed you that both of those guys still got it.
Mm-hmm. Matt Brown showed us very well. He still got it in the last fight.
He just got a knockout, yeah.
Yeah. And he turned around, looked at the camera, and said, "How's that for 44?"
Yeah, and he keeps on saying, like, it seems to me like he's looking at a good point to retire. Not that he wants to retire, but he's trying to retire. But then
he just keeps winning.
Keeps winning and fighting so good that he keeps on wanting to do it. But hey, man, I embrace it. Like, I don't think these guys that are, old. I don't really think 40s is old. But if you're taking care of your body and stuff, you're good.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Max Griffin, he's had some good wins. He's beat some bigger names. He's beat Mike Perry.
Yeah, I think this is a fight for Griffin to, I guess, get over that hump, to show that he's a contender. Like, this is his big name fighter.
Yep.
I think it's a good opportunity for him, but like you just said, Condit's been on a roll recently, and I think Condit's going to win.
Yeah, I do too.
Might be a decision, but he hates going to decision.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going with Condit on this one. I think it'll be decision, but I think he's kind of gotten back in his groove. Kind of fix some things.
He's one of the only people to stand in the octagon with GSP.
Yeah. Like,
genuinely, like, with him.
Yeah, he's definitely a legend to the sport, man. I'm glad he's back. So, yeah, man, let's get into the main card. This card just keeps getting better. Opener of the main card, you got one of the biggest superstars in the
Come on.
Sean O'Malley.
The Sugar Show.
Yeah, he fell out, but he is now getting a UFC debut person as his opponent, Chris
Moutinho.
Yeah.
I think. That's just how it looks to me.
That sounds right, yeah. My thing is, man, it's like I seen all those people on Twitter who reached out to pick up, and I really wish he would have took a top guy.
No. We don't know how this really happened. Everybody can say that he's picking the easier opponent. But at the end of the day, Dana White comes to him with an opponent. He said, "I will fight anybody." He didn't say, "Give me the number one guy." He didn't say, "Give me top 5, top 10, a ranked guy." He just said, "Anybody." And Ricky Simone agreed to the fight on the internet, on Twitter.
But couldn't make weight. And Sean O'Malley said, "That's fine. I'll fight you at 45. Yeah.
Supposedly the contract was given to the man, but he didn't sign it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. It could be just talk.
I would have liked to see that, because that would.
I wouldn't have. I think Ricky Simone might have got him.
And I agree with you. and I didn't want it to come
I don't
off.
think that would have been a good matchup for Sean O'Malley.
Yeah, I don't want it to come off like that. I know that Sean probably wants to. I feel like Dana's the one that's giving.
Yeah, I think Dana is keeping his golden boy, padding his record, which everybody hates to say it. But I think this fight is probably one of the most dangerous fights for Sean O'Malley. Let me explain. He is a minus like 850 favorite. Like huge, the biggest favorite in a while.
Yeah, if you're gonna put money,
probably since like an Amanda Nunes fight.
If you're gonna put money on a fight, this would be the best.
If you're putting $100 on a fight, you put $100 on Sean O'Malley first round knockout.
Yeah,
that's it. However, we don't know nothing about this other guy.
Yeah,
nobody knows anything about him. This is his UFC debut. He has absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. He's fighting on the opening card on a main event with Conor McGregor. So everybody's going to be watching.
Yeah, what else?
And he's fighting a superstar in Sean O'Malley. So imagine if this nobody beats Sean O'Malley on a Conor McGregor pay-per-view with everybody in the world watching.
Yeah.
I think Sean O'Malley has a lot to lose.
Yeah.
Nothing to gain, really. Maybe another walk-off knockout that he loves so much.
I really want to – I'm going with Sean O'Malley in this by –
I'm going first-round knockout. Sean O'Malley.
Knockout as well, first round too. But I really want to see the Chito Vera fight again.
I do, but
I just don't understand how him as a competitor could, if he's truly better and it truly like Chito truly didn't cause that injury with a leg kick, then I think he needs to go redeem that and show. But
I don't think they should do it yet because I think Chito Vera is not going to lose anytime soon. I think he showed how good he is against Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's at that level yet.
Yeah, that's true.
We don't know exactly what level O'Malley's really at because we've never really seen him face anybody. Chito is probably the highest ranked person. Almeida is a great fighter, but I mean he's also towards the end of his career.
Yeah.
We'll see in the future. I'm sure that fight will be made, but imagine if that fight's made when it's like one of them two have the belt.
That'd be good. I agree.
That's the storyline right there.
Yeah. So we'll keep moving up this card. I'm gonna skip this next fight, this women's bantamweight fight, because we just don't know too much about
Yeah. I'll take the Mexican though, Irene.
Yeah, I mean I've heard of Kunitskaya.
I think she's the underdog though.
I've heard of Yana Kunitskaya before. I just haven't kept up enough with these two, so I don't feel good enough to like.
Yeah. I don't know much information on either.
Yeah. But keep moving up the main card. Still a good card. We got Tai Tuivasa versus Greg Hardy. Yes, this is one of those. This is one of the best fights you could make out of the top 10 heavyweights.
Are they ranked in the top 10?
Or out of your main heavyweights, your big heavyweights, kind of getting outside of that. This is one of the best fights you can make.
Yeah.
I've kind of been a Greg Hardy. I'm kind of a Greg Hardy fan, I would say.
I am too.
I
want him to win, but I do like Tuivasa as well, and I think Tuivasa has weird cardio.
Yeah.
Really weird cardio.
I really respect Greg Hardy. Like, you're a professional football player getting into UFC late. Like, I don't really think he trained MMA at all, like, while he was with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So he really just picked this up, and it shows what a pure athlete he is. And he's actually good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude, he went in there with Volkov like a year after he started.
Mm-hmm.
Got a number one contender fight pretty much with Volkov at heavyweight. And he didn't get knocked out, didn't get finished. I mean, he kind of got outclassed in the last two rounds. But, I mean, it was kind of, I guess, if you believe in moral victories, you could kind of see that as one. So
Logan Paul?
Yeah. And, I mean, he's already fought some bigger name heavyweights as well. He beat Maurice Green.
Yeah.
Maurice Green just got cut, but I mean, don't get it wrong. He was a good heavyweight.
Was that the fight that he used his inhaler?
No, I think that was against De Castro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that was a huge deal.
Yeah. Which I don't know.
Like a huge deal, which, I mean, I understand why, and I don't understand at the same time.
Yeah.
But It's just one of those things that everybody was making like a huge deal about it.
But this is a big test against him, against Tai Tuivasa. All the fans love him.
I think it's a big test for both fighters.
Yeah,
This is a great fight.
because Tai Tuivasa, he kind of had a little streak where he was losing, and then he got back into it. He beat Stefan Struve.
Mm-hmm.
But he kind of had a little streak where he had lost like 2 or 3 in a row. And, he was kind of one of those guys that I feel like that's why Dana's kind of doing what he's doing with O'Malley, because Tai Tuivasa is one of those guys he might have moved him too quick.
Mm-hmm.
But he moved Chaos Williams too quick. And I think, now you're kind of like Kamzat is one of your guys. You don't want to move him too quick, but
he wants it. He's asking for the title.
yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Tai Tuivasa was one of those guys at once that, kept winning and that Dana kept moving up. So I don't really know how to go with this one.
It's definitely a finish.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think this is just from me liking Greg Hardy. I'm just going to go with Greg Hardy.
I think in the first round, Greg Hardy has a better chance.
Mm-hmm.
I think probably 60-40 Greg Hardy knockout. But as soon as that second round hits, Tuivasa becomes a huge favorite.
Yeah.
Greg Hardy does not have the cardio for it.
Yeah, I can agree with that. That's true. We've seen his cardio be tested, and it wasn't too good in those last couple of rounds.
Last few fights.
Yeah.
Him and Maurice Green just looked like two dead people.
Yeah. That's kind of with a lot of heavyweight fights. If they don't get a knockout or finish in the first 2 rounds, it gets sloppy those last. But this card just keeps getting better. Gilbert, this could possibly be a number 1 contender fight for who fights Kamaru Usman. We got Gilbert Burns versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. We haven't seen Wonderboy in a while. I think he breaks his hands a lot in a lot of his fights. I think he's did that a few times, so that's why we've kind of seen this absence. But Wonderboy is kind of one of those unconventional guys that is very hard to prepare for. No matter how good you are on a roll. Yeah. As we could see, Tyron Woodley was a killer at his reign as a champion. Came to Wonderboy. I mean, he really – both fights were – a lot of fans seen it as dull, but, it's just very hard to read Wonderboy.
Yeah.
He's beat some good people, man. He beat Vicente Luque, which just knocked out just submitted Tyron Woodley.
Mm-hmm.
He beat who else did he beat? He beat the Neil guy.
Neil Magny?
No,
Jeff Neal.
Jeff Neal. And Jeff Neal, I mean, was really close to fighting for a title.
Mm-hmm.
So he just beat him. I think his last loss was against Anthony Pettis. Yeah, he kind of makes fun of that now. It's kind of funny watching his
Yeah, he always reacts to his knockout.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, here it comes. Oh!
So this is a really tough fight because Gilbert Burns, man, his striking has gotten so good. But it's kind of like, is he relying too much on it now because of how good he was at takedowns and jiu-jitsu, just anything on the ground? Him and Kamaru Usman are kind of in that same boat. They both got really good at striking.
Yeah.
And, Gilbert he was on a tear. He had his loss to Kamaru, that TKO, I think it was second round.
Yeah, that fight.
Yeah. But he had Kamaru in trouble.
Yes, that's what I want to say. Like, that first round when Kamaru knocked him down or something, and Gilbert was on the ground saying, come down here. If he would have just got up, because we don't know if Kamaru was actually still hurt or not.
Yeah.
Because that was just a few moments after that happened. Kamaru could be recovering. Gilbert could have gotten back up and put more pressure on him. If he had a chance, it was the first round because he had him hurt twice. And I'd like to see that fight again.
I think it's
Even though I don't want to see that fight because they are good friends. Like,
yeah,
and you could tell it hurt both of them to fight each other,
yeah,
especially at the end. I know Gilbert was upset because he lost the belt, but at the end of the day, they're basically brothers fighting each other, and they got their kids watching this, and they don't want to fight each other again. But
yeah,
I think Gilbert is a good shot at beating Usman.
yeah. And see, I don't know if you listen to Brandon Schaub's podcast, but he's really like in support of Wonder Boy. He thinks Wonder Boy is going
A lot of
to
people
KO.
are.
He thinks
A lot of
Wonder Boy
people
is going to KO Gilbert Burns, and he says that Wonder Boy is the biggest
threat. Yeah.
for Usman.
I don't know. I really don't know about him. And if Wonder Boy wins, Wonder Boy and Usman, I don't know.
Yeah.
Masvidal is supposed to be the one to be able to keep his distance and basically.
And Wonder Boy,
part.
let's not forget Wonder Boy beat Masvidal
Mm-hmm.
as well. So, I mean, we keep seeing time after time these big lethal strikers, Vicente Luque, Masvidal, they couldn't get it done. But then you have a 155-pounder in Anthony Pettis knock him out. So it's just really hard to kind of.
I mean, Gilbert Burns is technically a 155er.
Yeah, that too. This is kind of like, I know you had this fight earlier. I really don't know how this is going to go. And I don't even feel comfortable giving a prediction because I don't know.
I don't know either, but I will say Gilbert Burns wins by submission.
Yeah. Okay.
But he could knock him out too. I think Gilbert is going to have to use his wrestling.
I
He
agree.
has to. But the issue is fighting somebody with a karate stance like that, or taekwondo, or whichever stance he uses. He's going to be hard to get to. He's going to keep his distance, and he can time your takedown with a knee, or front kick, or anything. So it's just going to be.
I agree.
If Gilbert Burns goes for the leg kicks at the beginning, slows him down, like Dustin did to Conor, and then possibly mix in the wrestling and the jiu-jitsu, we could see something, but I don't know.
I don't know, man. There's so many ways it can play out in our head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I could really see both fighters winning.
I'm speechless on this one because I don't know how this one's going to go. But let's go ahead and get to the main event. This one's for all the marbles. The third fight between these two. Dustin got knocked out in the first one. Conor got knocked out in the second one. Patrick's got his Conor shirt on. But Conor got finished in the second fight. You know, the third fight, this is for all the marbles. This is going to be probably who fights Charles Oliveira. So you got a title shot on the line, even though some view Dustin Poirier as the real champion. You know, regardless, this is a big, big fight. And, you know, it's not the nice, friendly Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier.
Oh, no, it's not.
This time, Conor is putting on Twitter a message request from Dustin's wife on Instagram or something like that. And, you know, both going back and forth. Conor's called out Dustin Poirier saying his charity, kind of pretty much saying he's fraudulent money from the charity.
Did you see that? How much money was it that he was supposed to give? $500,000?
Yeah.
Conor gave $500,000 to charity in New Orleans, like he said he was going to. He didn't give it to Dustin's, but he gave it to another charity or Lafayette or whatever. It was in Louisiana.
Yeah.
So he gave it to another charity. He gave all $500,000, which is kind of a stab as well. But at the same time, he's like, I'm going to help some people, but just not you.
I like this though. Like friendly Conor is.
It was weird.
I really like that Conor.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not. I don't feel like that's his true kind of self. I think he likes to talk trash and stuff.
Yeah. I hope they do a press conference.
They are on Thursday. Yeah, tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be good. I'll definitely be watching that.
Yeah, that's going to be good.
I'm sure that's when Conor's going to really try to get in his head, but they don't do everything like they used to. They used to have media days. They used to do the press conference, then the weigh-ins. Everything used to be live. They're just now starting to bring back the ceremonial weigh-ins like they used to.
Yeah, hopefully they'll start bringing all that back slowly since COVID's kind of slowing down. One of my favorite things that they used to do they used to do a summer press conference for all the fights of the summer, and they
with
all
every
pay-per-view headliners, and that's ridiculous because you would just see.
Imagine having Conor and Izzy at the same press conference.
Yeah, and Colby Covington or something.
Oh man,
yeah, that would be ridiculous. But yeah, man, third fight. What's your thoughts on how this goes?
What I want to do is sit here with my Conor McGregor impression and say first round knockout. The Mystic Mac says so, but I really do not know. If Conor has a shot, it's going to be a first round knockout. The second round is still slightly in Conor's favor, but we don't know how he's going to do, and we don't know what Dustin's actually going to do this time. Because Dustin has everything in his arsenal. He can wrestle. Obviously he has the leg kicks. But if Conor is really going to go back to his old stance, where he's light on his feet, the leg kicks aren't going to do as much damage. They'll still do damage, just not as much. If you watch the first fight, I think Conor was winning every minute until his leg gave out. And then Dustin took advantage, had him in a corner. Conor couldn't move. He was trying to bob and weave, but he just bobbed and weaved into the fist, and then he got knocked out. I think Conor keeps his distance and tries to piece him apart or just completely knocks him out in the first round.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Watching that second fight, and this is in my opinion, I believe Conor's the better fighter. He's the better fighter. He has a better skill set. He almost finished Dustin in that second fight in the first round. I thought he was going to finish him. And as we've seen in the past, I'm a Diaz fan, but Conor did come back better in that second fight. Him and his team fixed things. I think he's focused now. He's a lot more focused. As we know with Conor, it seems like we can get a Conor that's kind of doing a whole lot of stuff outside of fighting. But I think this is a Conor that's been at training camp. He's real focused. Where I think Conor's the better fighter, I think he fixes stuff, and I think we see a Conor McGregor TKO and Dustin Poirier KO in the first or second round. I think he gets it done. I do realize the longer the fight goes, the more it's going to favor Dustin Poirier, but I think Conor gets it done.
Poirier's stamina is not all there either.
Yeah.
If you watch that Justin Gaethje fight, Gaethje, both of their gas tanks were just plummeting. And then Gaethje's just completely gave out, and Poirier still had just a little bit of gas tank in there to finish him, and really late.
Yeah,
I think Gaethje was winning that fight.
Yeah, and Gaethje, man, we got to see him come back. I hope he comes back.
I don't know what's going on with Gaethje, man. He's no fight, no nothing.
I hope he fights Chandler. I guess I don't know.
I hope
Chandler coming off a loss. But.
I want him to. Yeah, that's true too. Because Chandler fought two people. He fought somebody that wasn't even in the top 5, and then he fought for the belt.
Yeah.
And he got exposed.
Yeah.
I don't like Michael Chandler. I don't think he deserves a top 5 fight. Matter of fact, give him Makhachev. Let Islam fight him and take him out.
Hey, that would be a fun one. Makhachev versus Gaethje or Chandler.
Yeah. Or give him RDA. Let's see what RDA can do.
Well, he's
RDA and Chandler.
He's 170 now.
What?
I think he's still 170, I think.
He's ranked number 6 in the lightweight.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he dropped down and fought. He's been fighting in lightweight.
Who was his last fight against? Do you remember?
He beat Paul Felder.
Oh, dang. Yeah, that's right. Dang. Yeah, so that division really does got a lot going on.
Yeah, every single person in the top 10 is potential fight for the belt. No, Conor's number 4 or 5.
Yeah. Yeah, man, you're going to have to impress Dana. These guys are some spectacular finish. That's how it goes. The best kind of finish. If you're the number 1 contender and you have a dull fight, kind of like Leon Edwards, you're not going to get rewarded with a title shot.
Yeah, it's crazy. Leon completely beat Diaz, and then Nate hit that one shot, and everybody's like, Diaz won.
Yeah, man, I'm one of those people. I was jumping up and down, man. I jumped up off the couch. I thought he was going to finish, and I was so excited because I do realize he was getting beat pretty bad that whole fight.
Yeah.
So, So yeah, I mean,
Dude, when it happened and he just pointed at him, I was like, "Oh my God, what is happening right now?" It was crazy.
it is, man. That was a fun one there at the end. But yeah, man, we'll leave it there today, Patrick. Got a great UFC card coming up this weekend, UFC 264. Conor McGregor. Anytime Conor's headlining, it's going to be a good fight. I actually seen a list of celebrities that are coming. Donald Trump's going to be there. Like all these famous singers, like they're really
Man,
they're really coming out for this pay-per-view. But that's what Conor does, man.
Donald Trump. Trump's going to a UFC event and Kobe's not fighting.
I know. That's the crazy thing is because I thought I read it wrong at first because I was like, well, maybe Colby's already got like his fight against Usman booked and then he's coming. But now he's coming to this one. He ain't with Colby no more, man. He don't where Colby lost. He ain't right with Colby no more. But yeah, Patrick, I appreciate you coming on the podcast today, man. This was fun.
Yeah, if anybody wants to win any money, it's like a plus 1,100 odds at Conor McGregor and Sean O'Malley first round knockout. I'm just saying, if you want to win some money, bet 100, win 1,100. It's right there.
Which one do you use? You use Sports
FanDuel.
FanDuel. That's the one I use too. I'm probably going to put me a little bit of money on Conor.
Yeah, if you bet, if you do like a parlay, you don't even have to pick Tuivasa or Greg Hardy. You can just say that the fight's going to end in a knockout.
Yeah.
And then you do, if you didn't really want to pick Conor, or if you wanted to be specific and pick Conor first round and Sean O'Malley first round, that's probably what I'm going to do is those three.
Mm-hmm.
And the odds will probably be like plus 1,600 or something. You could bet $5 and win 40 something or something. I don't know. You could win a decent amount, huh?
Y'all better listen to Patrick. Y'all better use his parlay.
I mean, I post my picks up, but this past like 2 months, I haven't been in the positive. Well, I mean, I've been in the positive. I'm usually like 80 to 90% correct, but
yeah,
it's always that one fight that I'll actually like put my money on, and it'll screw my entire parlay up.
Yeah, I think I did a parlay on the Diaz fight. I picked Alasonia and Diaz, I think, but yeah, that was kind of.
I had an 8-fight parlay when Kevin Holland fought Derek Brunson, and I picked Kevin Holland every single fight on the entire card. I got correct. If I would have got that Kevin Holland fight right, I would have won like $5,000.
Oh yeah, dude, he's the guy I was trying to think of. He's one of those guys too that Dana kept pushing.
Yeah,
kept giving him these hard fights, and his stock kind of went down.
Well, it's not that he's getting hard fights. It's that Kevin Holland says yes, and that he's taking fights that are not in his favor.
Yeah,
he's fighting wrestlers, and Kevin Holland doesn't know how to fight wrestlers.
Holler.
He did get a fight. Kevin Holland did get a fight recently. He just got one announced. It's against somebody that I don't. It's the brother. There's two brothers, and this one's the one in the lower class. Can't think of the name. The other brother's really good. This one was supposed to be Dawkins.
Oh, Dawkins. Kyle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's two brothers, and the one that's in middleweight is supposed to be better, but the other one's actually doing better than him.
Well, maybe that'll be a chance for him to kind of get back in the win column.
He's also a wrestler.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
He's not a pure wrestler, but he's fighting a middleweight. I thought Kevin Holland was dropping down to welterweight.
Yeah, I think he's kind of like Chimaev. He's doing 170, 185.
But he still hasn't taken a 170 fight.
Yeah, I know.
I'd like to see Kevin Holland and Mike Perry. But I also don't want Mike Perry to keep losing because he's going to get released. And Mike Perry, he's got some fans. He's got some pull.
Oh, yeah. I'm one of his
If Mike Perry's going out, he's got to fight Darren Till.
Yeah. We need to see that. We just need Mike Perry to win to be able to get that fight.
Yeah.
But yeah, Patrick, I'll go ahead and end this recording. I appreciate you coming on today, bro. Thanks for everybody for listening as well.